Everyone in the courtroom believed the same thing, that this boy was finished. No lawyer, no defense, nothing but silence. But they forgot one truth: silence is not weakness. Sometimes silence is the calm before a storm that can turn a whole courtroom breathless. And today, that storm was about to tear the truth wide open. The courtroom felt unusually crowded, as if curiosity had dragged half the town inside. Whispers buzzed like distant thunder, eyes darting toward the trembling teenager standing alone in the defendant's box. His name was Arian, just 16, small for his age, with bruises on his wrist where the handcuffs had dug into him. He looked like someone who had spent years learning how to hide pain, someone who had grown too familiar with hunger, fear, and empty nights. And yet, in that moment, every person staring at him believed they understood him. To them, he was just a poor boy caught stealing from a rich man. Someone without a future. Someone without a voice. Someone with no defense. Judge Hartman cleared his throat and looked over his glasses, flipping through the papers. You are accused of stealing a diamond bracelet from Mr. Rajan. Evidence suggests you were found near the location, and witnesses claim to have seen you. His tone carried finality, as if the case was already decided. A soft, mocking laugh rose from the front row, Rajan's laugh. Expensive suit, polished shoes, confidence dripping from every gesture. He glanced at Arian with a smirk that said, "You cannot win. You were born to lose." Arian didn't speak. Not because he had nothing to say, but because he knew no one would believe him even if he tried. He had been taught his whole life that the poor don't get justice, they get blamed. He remembered being dragged from the street, shoved into a police car, slapped when he asked what was happening. He remembered looking for help, for someone to say, "Wait, let's hear him," but every door stayed closed. And now, standing under the cold lights of the courtroom, he felt smaller than ever. The world wasn't against him, it simply didn't care whether he existed. The judge sighed. "Where is your attorney?" A police officer shrugged. "Sir, he doesn't have one." A burst of laughter echoed. "This boy has no defense." Rajan chuckled loudly, leaning back. The entire courtroom followed with amusement. Arian lowered his eyes to the floor, his fists tightening. They were right, he had no lawyer. No money. No family to stand behind him. Just a truth stuck in his throat. But the courtroom did not know one thing: truths, when forced into silence, grow powerful enough to shake worlds. Just as the judge prepared to move forward with the case, the doors of the courtroom swung open, and everyone turned. A woman in her mid-30s, wearing a simple black blazer and carrying a stack of files, hurried inside. She looked tired, as if she had been running, but there was determination in her stride. Judge Hartman frowned. "Miss, you are late." "Who are you?" She approached the front. "My name is Elena Raymond, defense attorney. And I'm here for the boy." The entire courtroom was stunned. Even Arian looked up for the first time, confusion flickering across his face. He didn't know this woman. He had never seen her before. Why would a lawyer walk in for someone who had nothing to offer? No money, no support, no recognition. Elena caught his gaze, and for a brief second, there was something in her eyes that he had never seen directed at him: belief. Rajan scoffed loudly. "Is this a joke? He can't afford you." Elena didn't even look at him. "Some people don't need to pay me," she said calmly. "Injustice pays me enough." The courtroom shifted uncomfortably. Elena took her place beside Arian, placing a reassuring hand on his shoulder. He flinched. No one touched him gently, but he didn't pull away. "Arian," she whispered, "I'm here now. You're not alone." Those words hit him harder than any insult he'd ever heard. Not alone. He had lived his whole life with the opposite carved into his bones. He nodded, swallowing the lump in his throat, still unsure whether to trust her, but desperate enough to cling to the possibility. Judge Hartman leaned forward. "Very well, Ms. Raymond. Continue." Elena opened her file. "Your Honor, before this trial proceeds, I must state something clearly. The boy is innocent. And I intend to prove it." Gasps filled the room. Rajan's smirk vanished for a moment before returning even sharper. "Good luck," he muttered. But Elena wasn't looking for luck. She was looking for cracks in the lies, and she had already spotted one. Elena began questioning the witnesses one by one. The first witness, a shopkeeper, claimed he saw Aryan running near Rajan's house. His voice shook as he spoke, and Elena noticed it. She stepped closer. "Sir, how far were you when you saw the boy?" Maybe 30-40 meters. "At night?" "Yes." "With streetlights broken on that road?" He hesitated. "Well, yes." "So you claim to confidently recognize a boy you have never seen before, from 40 meters away, in the dark?" The witness froze. The courtroom whispered. Elena smiled slightly. No further questions. The second witness didn't last any longer. He kept fumbling, changing his statements. Elena dismantled every word with calm precision. Rajan grew visibly irritated, his fingers tapping the bench aggressively. Finally, Elena faced the judge. "Your Honor, something is wrong here. These witnesses are not telling the truth." Judge Hartman looked concerned, but Rajan leapt to his feet. "This is nonsense. The boy was caught near my house. What more do you need?" Elena turned toward him with sharp eyes. "I need the truth, Mr. Rajan. And you seem very uncomfortable with that." Aryan watched the exchange with wide eyes. For the first time, someone was fighting for him. Someone was tearing apart the lies that had buried him. Elena knelt beside him. "Aryan, tell me what really happened." He hesitated, tears gathering. "I wasn't stealing. I heard someone scream. I ran there to check. When I got closer, someone pushed me, and I fell. Then the police came and arrested me. I tried to explain, but they didn't listen?" He shook his head. Elena's jaw tightened. "Then we will make them listen." Elena stood in the center of the courtroom and spoke with a calm, firm voice. "Your Honor, I request access to the security footage from the street cameras near Mr. Rajan's house on the night of the incident." Rajan stiffened instantly. There are no cameras working there." Elena raised an eyebrow. "Interesting. Because I have already contacted the city maintenance office, and they confirmed the cameras were fully operational." A wave of shock spread across the courtroom. Judge Hartman ordered the footage to be presented. A large screen was brought in, and the moment the video began playing, the entire courtroom leaned forward. Footage showed Aryan walking alone, then suddenly stopping as if startled. A shadowy figure ran past him. Aryan chased after the sound, towards Rajan's house. Then the footage paused. Elena pointed at the screen. "This shows clearly, Aryan was not running away. He was running toward the source of the scream." The judge nodded slowly. "Continue." The next part of the footage played. The shadowy figure circled the house. A moment later, the camera caught something unmistakable, the flash of a diamond bracelet in the stranger's hand. But the face of the thief became clear only when the person turned under the streetlight. The courtroom erupted into gasps. Aryan froze. The judge leaned back in shock. Because the thief was Rajan's own nephew. Rajan jumped up. "This is fake. Edited. Lies." But Elena already had the official timestamped files and city verification forms. There was nothing he could argue. The courtroom fell into complete, suffocating silence. The moment the judge whispered, "The boy is innocent," Aryan's knees gave way, and he nearly collapsed as the weight of the world lifted from his shoulders. For a second, he didn't know whether to cry or laugh or scream. All he knew was that the silence inside him, the silence everyone mocked, finally broke free. Tears streamed down his face, but for once, they were not tears of helplessness. They were tears of relief. Tears of survival. Tears of a boy who had finally been heard. Elena placed a hand on his arm. "You're safe now, Aryan." Those words echoed inside him like music. No one had ever said something like that to him. Not once. The crowd murmured, this time filled not with mockery, but guilt. Guilt for believing lies so easily. guilt for judging a boy without listening. Even Judge Hartman sighed heavily, regret softening his stern face. I apologize, son, you deserve better. Rajan was escorted out of the courtroom, shouting, resisting, defeated by the truth he tried to bury. His power, money, and arrogance had failed him in the one place where lies eventually collapse, before justice. Elena helped Arian walk outside. The sun was warm, the air gentle, and for the first time in his life, Arian felt what freedom truly meant. Why did you help me? He finally asked. Elena smiled softly. Because someone helped me once when I had no defense. And I promised I would do the same for anyone who needed me. Arian looked at the sky, brighter than he had ever seen it. He knew his life wouldn't suddenly become perfect. There would be struggles, scars, and battles ahead. But he had something he never had before: hope. A hope born from truth. A hope protected by courage. A hope that proved a simple, powerful message. A boy with no defense can still win. If someone chooses to believe him.